To a Fox News alert, President Trump just announced a deal between Israel and Hamas. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin has been on this from the beginning, live from a very, very, very late Tel Aviv. Jennifer, good to see you.
Thank you, Laura. Well, incredible news here tonight that broke just within the last hour. First, we heard on Israeli television that there was a deal for the first phase of this peace plan, this agreement in Gaza to end the war and to release the hostages and to release Palestinian prisoners. Then we had the Trump Truth Social post, which really is what Israel was waiting for in order to make the formal announcement. And the Truth Social post said, "I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly." In essence, we also have heard from the foreign minister of Qatar, the prime minister, of Qatar, who made the similar announcement that the hostages and the prisoners will be released and that Israel will be withdrawing to an agreed upon line. Now, based on my reporting tonight, Laura, that agreed upon withdrawal line will be about 51% of Gaza. So it will not be out of the entire Gaza Strip, because in this first phase, which is expected to start on Saturday or Sunday in terms of the 20 live hostages being released, hopefully all together from the Gaza Strip, there is no word yet on the dead hostages, the 28 hostages who are deceased, that Hamas says that they have not been able to locate all of them because Israel is controlling right now 80% of the Gaza Strip. So that withdrawal will be taking place after the release, as the hostages are released, so that they can then find the rest of the hostages. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wrote tonight in a post that with God's help, all of the hostages will be brought home in good time. So a sense that while this first phase, which is a very important phase in terms of hostages and prisoners and the withdrawal of the Israeli military and its immediate ceasefire, that very important phase has been negotiated with the help of Jared Kushner, as well as Steve Witkoff and the Qatari Prime Minister, the head of Turkish intelligence. We have a photograph showing the Major General Nitzan Alon, who is the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, main negotiator for hostages, shaking hands with the Prime Minister of Qatar, and also Steve Witkoff shaking hands with the head of Turkish intelligence. The smiles on their faces suggest that this deal for the first phase. Now, as we know, Laura, the devil is in the details, and the second phase, which is much more difficult in this overall plan to end the war in Gaza, involves the disarmament of Hamas. Where will those weapons go? Where will the leaders of Hamas go? Will they be evacuated from the Gaza Strip? Will they be allowed to stay there? And who will rule the Gaza Strip when this is over? Because Israel has long said that they will not allow Hamas to remain in power or to remain armed. So that second phase is going to be a lot trickier. But again, through the president's attention to this, his pressure on both the Israeli side as well as with the help of the Qataris and the Turks, the pressure on Hamas gave little wiggle room in terms of the release of these hostages. This will be disappointing, perhaps, if all of the deceased hostages are not released at the same time. We've been talking to families all week about how devastating it is to not have closure for those sons and daughters who had died and are being held by Hamas. There will be at least 1,700 Palestinian prisoners released. There have been negotiations at the last minute about the names who will be on that list, who will be included. 250 of those prisoners are likely to be having served lifetime prison sentences in Israel. So that is a very hard, bitter pill for the Israelis to swallow as well. But tonight, good news from Sharm el-Sheikh for this first phase of the peace plan. Laura.
And Jennifer, it's pretty interesting that Jared Kushner with Witkoff was part of this duo that really drove this to the president's desk. Jared Kushner, obviously instrumental in the Abraham Accords, which no one thought was possible in the first term. And people wondered whether Jared would have much involvement at all in the second term. And here, only, 9 months into the administration, this is a pretty pivotal achievement.
a huge achievement, and certainly Jared Kushner's achievement as the negotiator of the Abraham Accords in the first Trump term. He has a lot of credibility in the Middle East, and he has used that, as you've heard President Trump say, that this into the Gaza war is just the first phase of what he sees as a broader Middle East peace plan, if you will, that would broaden the Abraham Accords. That certainly is what is motivating Jared Kushner. Steve Witkoff has been at the center of hostage negotiations, has brought many of those hostages out from Gaza as well as around the world. There have been hostage releases, but it would not have happened without President Trump remember when Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu came to the White House, there was a tremendous amount of pressure the hours and days before that, after President Trump had been at the UN and met with Arab leaders about what was needed for this deal to take place. The Arab leaders were very united, along with Turkey, in pressuring Hamas. And Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner met with Prime Minister Netanyahu to craft the 20-point plan that really is the basis for the deal, the first phase of the deal that will be signed in Sharm el-Sheikh tomorrow at noon, we're told. So those meetings, that involvement of Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff and President Trump, this would not have happened otherwise.
And some word that President Trump may be flying to the region this weekend to be there. He's been invited there. Jennifer, this is fascinating, historic first step, but an important step. 1,700 pretty tough prisoners to release, but man, this is welcome news. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And by the way, we have Marco Rubio. Marco, come on up here, please. He's going to bring a little stability to this group. Come on up. Does everybody know Marco Rubio? Is there anybody that doesn't? Some of the reporters don't. That's why they shouldn't be reporters.
Which job is he here for today,
Come
sir?
on up here, Marco. Anything we should know about the Middle East?
That's what we're hoping to talk to you about here, Mr. President.
He's doing a good job. He was born for this job, I can tell you. Daniel, please.
Mr. President, thank you very much. I have two questions for you, if that's okay. Seamus talked a little bit about the money aspect of this. Do you believe if you go after where the money is coming from with Antifa, in regards to Antifa, do you believe that would be similar to cutting the head off the snake, so to speak? And
it would help. I don't know that it would be totally complete, but it would certainly... you'd knock out 75%, 80%, 85%. These people, a lot of them don't believe it. You know, when I watch them, I say, I can almost tell a pro they're like professionals. That's all they do. And they get paid by somebody. I think it would knock out a lot of it. Yeah, not all of it maybe, but a lot of it.
And then a follow-up to that is a lot of the people who we've listened to over the last hour, they've emphasized that Antifa, it's not necessarily this big organized thing. It's a bit ambiguous. It's deorganized. I think that's one of the words that Andy used. What is the challenges of going after a group that makes it intentionally difficult to go after and find? That could be for you, the Attorney General, anyone up there.
Well, they're smart people, and they deceive. A lot of them are crooked people. A lot of them have been staying out of trouble their whole lives, and they've been bad from the day they were born, frankly. But these are sick people. Pam, go ahead, please.
Well, they're smart, but they're not smart enough. Oh, my microphone's broken. They're smart, but they're not smart enough. They have been covered by these liberal cities for so many years. And that's why we're all working with Treasury, with all these different departments, to find the criminal conspiracy.
Okay. I'm just giving... I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly, so I will take a couple of more questions.